You won't believe this, but Overwatch has been matching gold players with GM players in competitive. Like, look at this. And this is actually after the fix that they said they've brought in. What is going on here? Like, this game is so imbalanced, it's ridiculous. So let's take a look at what's going on here. You guys can see some footage in the background here of that very game I just showed you the score of, the final round. Anyway, this is what Aaron Keller said. Earlier today, we started rolling out fixes for an issue where players from much lower skill tier would get pulled into higher skill games. We continue to monitor and make additional changes if needed. Thank you all for your patience. For context, we made several changes, including changes to the matchmaker in Season 3. We'll cover these and their impacts generally really positive in the next blog update. A byproduct of these changes was pulling gold players into GM lobbies. That's what these fixes are targeted at. Okay, now there is still something clearly wrong with the matchmaker, and I think we should probably get onto that. So games are very, very imbalanced at the moment. You'll go from a game where you get rolled to a game where you roll the enemy. It doesn't seem like you get games that are very, kind of close, which that's kind of what we want. It doesn't really matter what your rank is or what is going on in the game. You want a good challenge. You don't want to steamroll the enemy. So what's happening? Well, I think get players in game fast is the mantra of this game currently, because I mean, whichever way you look at this, it's very clearly the primary mandate of the matchmaker is to form games as fast as possible. They don't want you waiting in a queue. They don't want you waiting. They especially don't want streamers waiting in queues while people are trying to watch Twitch. And then it's like, oh, well, the streamer's in a 20-minute queue. And these are things that used to happen in Overwatch 1. Now, of course, Overwatch 2's got a larger player base, but they've very clearly made changes to the matchmaker to make games form faster. Now, what that means is it heavily sacrifices the quality of those games just to get players into a match. And it's kind of like they're in a difficult position because they need games to form fast. It's not just about streamers, YouTubers, or whatever. It's about players. You don't want to sit there in a queue. Now, I would expect to see more of this going forward simply because they don't want you to sit in a queue. They don't want players wasting around in a queue for it to pop. They want you in a competitive game as fast as possible. And this means there's a much wider variance in what's been going on in quality of games as they're matching people from all kinds of different ranks. Now, we'll pause on the score screen here at the end of the match again. I mean, look at this. This is just like absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I've died once in this game. Our tank hasn't even died. Our Lucio hasn't died. Look at the enemy team. Now, yes, it's possible they just got rolled, but like I said, this happens a hell of a lot. And this is after the changes that Aaron said had been brought into the game. So clearly, there's still a lot to work on. And I would expect to see updates to the matchmaker pretty much all of the time going forward. Okay, let's talk about Ball, because this is the other issue. Is Ball OP? These are his buffs on the screen. And don't worry, I'm not going to read them off verbatim. But essentially, this makes Ball a lot more survivable. And you'll see him rolling around with shield health. That, of course, he regenerates now. And he's just a lot harder to kill. Now, this game is against a particularly good Ball player. And you'll see what happens. Now, what I'd like to talk about is the way, you kind of have to play with this or against this character. Now, I'm playing Soldier here, which is not ideal. I would not play Soldier into Ball. Now, of course, I didn't know they were going to have a Ball. I mean, they've got Ball and Widow. It's literally a horror show comp. But they've got Ball, and I've got to be aware of what's going on. But the reason I wouldn't play Soldier against him is Ball can basically solo Soldier all the time. Like, if you get caught on your own against Ball, even if you drop your biofield, he's just going to kill you. So yeah, don't play Soldier into Ball. It's not good. You need to play a different hero. And in this video, I will select Torbjorn to play against him. You can also pick Mei. You could maybe play Sombra. I think the other DPS on this team goes Sombra. So the team is actively trying to get rid of the Ball. And I think even the tank goes Roadhog, to which the Ball laughs at him. And it's like, ha, you've picked the worst tank in the game, blah, blah, blah. But you can see how effective this Ball is. He stays alive. Now, this is a good Ball player. I'm pretty sure of it. It's probably a GM tank. And it is just absolutely bullying the game. And we're trying everything to kill him. The Echo actually manages to kill him there, which, by the way, Echo's beam is probably a pretty good attack against Ball, especially when he's under 50% health, because of course he does extra damage. But yeah, the issue is Ball is a tank that is built for 5v5 before 5v5 became a thing. Now, Ball has been buffed to make him more, well, let's say powerful, because he's not been that great up until this point in Overwatch's history. Now, I think they were really worried that if they give him too much power, he'll just take over the game. And the question is Ball taking over the game here? Well, I think the issue is Ball, it's just mobility. This new map, it's okay, Shambali Monastery. Even on the older maps, he's still effective. So I wouldn't really attribute it to just, oh yeah, there's a lot of space on maps. Ball is going to just destroy you. But yeah, let's talk about counters before I keep waffling on. So I've gone Torb here. Now, the reason I've gone Torb is it's very hard for Ball to kill Torb. Torb can do a ton of damage to Ball at close range with his alternate fire. Torb's turret is really good as well for annoying Ball because it will just do chip damage to him. It will get him when he doesn't expect to take damage. You'll notice really good Ball players will go in and then get out just with a fraction of HP left. The turret actually deals with that quite well. So I would recommend going Torb if you can play him, especially if you're like a soldier player or a Cassidy player like I typically am at the moment in comp. Yeah, I'm going to go probably Torb against the Ball. Like I said, you can go May, can work okay against Ball as well. Reaper can be pretty good against Ball. You just need to be aware of where he is and almost play to his flow and his tempo, and wherever he goes, you need to be there to make sure you can defend your supports or defend your other DPS, because if you just let him do what he likes, he will just destroy people. So I guess the question is here, is he OP? Well, he's very, 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 very much stronger than he used to be. Is he OP? Well, he probably. He probably is. I mean, look at me. I'm trying to kill him. Yeah, he was put to sleep. Maybe I shouldn't have woke him up that early. Should have waited for the brig to come back. But this Ball, you can see what I'm doing, right? I mean, I'm going to get killed here now because I'm caught out of position, getting pushed back. In fact, do I get killed? I'm pretty sure I do, yeah, in his ultimate. But do you see how Torb stays alive against Ball? It's very hard for Ball to kill the Torb, so I would always go Torb against Ball if you see him about. But here's the question, right? And I keep beating around it. Is he OP? Yeah, I think he is. I think what Blizzard have done is buffed him a bit too much. They've suddenly shoved him to the upper echelons of tank balance. In fact, you could say he probably is the best tank right now. I still think Ramartra's really good. I still think Sigma's good, and I also still think Orisa is very good. And Winston's okay, and Reinhardt's sort of but Ball is really, really good. And the issue is though, it's if you get a Ball player, that's the thing. Against just somebody who doesn't play Ball, he's not going to really shine. But against a Ball player that knows how to manipulate his movement, knows how to play on the maps, even specifically some of the newer maps, because of course some people are not aware of how to play on the newer maps, he can just really dominate because he just totally benefits from 5v5. So the other question is, what about faster balance updates? Well, this is going to be a test, I think, for Blizzard. I think Ball's OP. Do I think he's destroying the game OP? I think he's just frustrating to deal with. That's the issue with Ball. But what will Blizzard do? Do Blizzard think he's OP? Now, Blizzard always like to refer to data. They've probably got a lot of data on Ball. How many games is he winning? What's his win percentage? Is it somewhat crazy? Is it not? Are we only seeing this at higher ranks? At lower ranks, isn't he very good? Because the thing with Ball is he is quite difficult to play. You're not going to see a Ball in gold absolutely dominating the lobby, but you will in Masters, you will in GM, and you might do even in Diamond. So you have to be aware that this could just be something which is amplified at the higher ranks. Now, Sojourn was a character that was amplified at higher ranks, and it's still taking Blizzard a long time to do anything about Sojourn. I would still argue that she probably still is the best hit scan in the game at the moment, because she still can kill you with her fully charged railgun. It is. I know she's projectile primary fire, but her alternate fire is a hit scan, and it is difficult to play against. I'm enjoying playing Soldier. I think Ashe is really strong as well, but that's beside the point. The question here is, will Blizzard act faster as Sojourn just deletes me from the game? Will Blizzard act fast here? That is the massive question. I don't know. It's only if they think he's OP. I think community sentiment is going towards he is more OP. I've seen people talking on Twitter. I've seen people on the forums moaning about this. And does that manifest into Blizzard taking action? I think he probably does need looking at. I think the thing with Ball to remember is, if we compare him to other tanks like, let's say Roadhog, is Roadhog, it feels terrible to die to Roadhog when he hooked you and killed you. Ball, though, it's like he catches you out of position, he knocks you about, he comes in, he comes out. You can just see there, he comes in and he comes out. And yeah, it's annoying, it's frustrating, but he's more sort of annoying than Roadhog frustrating. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the other question is, and the one I'd like to end the video on, is this Overwatch really a competitive game? Again, this is something I've been seeing throughout. A lot of people who've been playing Overwatch, comments some of my friends have been saying, comments I've seen from the YouTubers, even content I've seen from other YouTubers, streamers talking about this, even pro players to some extent. Is Overwatch competitive? Now, I think when you start playing Overwatch, I mean, you should always play to win, but when you play with less of the sort of, we need the optimum meta comp, we need this, we need that, it's die hard in voice comps and all of that, it almost feels like the game comes more into its own. And yeah, I still play comp, it's still the primary mode that I play. I did for a period of time play quick play, but I just don't get the same sort of reward out of that. Even though the rewards are terrible in comp, it still is a more structured way to play the game, and generally people are playing to win. I know people play to throw and all of that stuff, but it still does feel worth playing the comp mode. But the question remains, is it actually a competitive game, Overwatch? Well, I think if you play the game with less of a competitive mindset and more of a, I'm going to pick a hero and play well, yeah, I am going to pick a hero to counter what the enemy are doing, like you're seeing in this game. I would have preferred to just play on Soldier, because I do enjoy playing Soldier, but Soldier into Ball is an instant loss. Okay, so I'll play Torb. I'm still sort of enjoying myself. I don't feel like this game is terrible and, you know, it's sort of an absolute waste of time and I shouldn't be here and, yeah, I'm really wasting my... I don't feel like that, so... I don't know, maybe I am still playing it in a competitive way, but maybe this is just the new competitive way. It's not the old way, you know. If you guys played a lot of Overwatch 1, you'd have noticed that people were generally always in voice chat in every game. I hardly see that in Overwatch 2 anymore. I'm not to say that's a bad or a good thing, you know. The game is just the game, isn't it? You know, you don't have to be in voice chat. It helps, obviously. I'm not using voice chat myself, you know, so I guess in a way, through not really, you know, seeing people use voice chat, I'm not using voice chat, so that... Does that make the game less competitive? It's very interesting, isn't it? But I want you guys to answer this in the comments below. Is it a competitive game, Overwatch? I think it's an interesting one here. It really is when you think about it, because it is in some ways. It was built to be a competitive game, but it's actually kind of, I don't know, more relaxing. Well, more fun if you're more relaxed about it. I don't know. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching the video. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.